there is really no thing as 50-50 when it comes to love, in my opinion. And I really hate that term, like, who wears the pants?
In a typical African marriage setting, a man is known to be responsible for his family, starting from food, shelter, clothing, paying the bills, and all. But realistically, women do more in the marriage than the men. Let's hear what Steve Harvey has to say.
Marriage is not 50-50. It has never been 50-50. It will never be 50-50. I'm going to hold up a card, and I'm going to show you what marriage is. Marriage is 85-15. 85 to the woman and 15 to the man.
Now, here are his reasons.
The reason a woman is in charge of the house is because they know more about it. They know the kids' schedule. They know your schedule. They know the bills. They know where everybody goes. They take care of vacations. They run everything in the house because they care about everything. You just know about your job. You don't know nothing else.
Barrister, do you agree with what Steve Harvey said about a wife having 80% part of the marriage over the husband in the house?
I must say I was a bit shocked because, like you were saying, in a typical African setting, it's assumed that the man does it. So when he raised that flashcard and said 85-15, I thought that he was going to say that 85 for the men and then 15 for the men.
You know, when those women were talking, the way he just calmed down, I was waiting to hear what he said.
Like he was going to retaliate with his own supporting of men.
Yes.
But when he now explained, I understood what he was saying, because that is the reality, truly.
Yes.
Women do so much more in terms of running the home, the day-to-day activities of the home, the children's schedule, school runs, and so many things. It's only in very rare occasions that you see that the father does the most part.
Yes.
For most families, you see that the father is the provider, very good, and even that one, we are now seeing women being breadwinners now, so many. So the father may be the provider, but in every other aspect, he has no idea. You will have a situation where a man will be looking for his own clothes, and you have to ask the wife, where is my, because she's the one in charge of the laundry. She's the one in charge of washing his clothes, taking care of everything, the children's own. If you are looking for, okay, where is that last PTA letter that they gave these children to bring home, it is the woman that knows it. If you are looking for the carpenter's number, the plumber's number, if you are everything like that, to repair anything that any appliance that is spoiled in the house. So, but if we are to look at it from an Islamic point of view, one party should not have so much burden, while another person, a marriage is a partnership of two people working together. So though some people will say that the ideal situation is for them to be doing 50-50, not in terms of finances, but in terms of all that it takes to run the marriage.
Yes.
But ordinarily, it should be that the woman only supports, because the husband is the head of the household. And it says that the wife is only like the neck. You know, the neck supports the head. The head is the major part of the body, but that neck is the one that makes it function. Without the neck, it cannot function properly. It cannot stand well. It cannot. So I believe that the woman's role should be like that. In terms of being the supporter, not being overburdened. Too many times we are seeing in this present generation women taking on too much responsibility, and because of that getting depressed, getting exhausted and things like that. It really shouldn't be so.
And be like a 30-year-old woman looking like a woman of 50 years, her husband is still younger than her, you know, because it's because of all the stress.
Yes, so much.
As much as it's happening, but I will want to disagree. I mean, a woman should be treated as a queen. She's your wife. You are the head of the house. You should take more responsibility. The husband should be like a shield to his family, to his wife and his kids, not the other way around. Because as it is now, the woman is seen to be as the shield. And some men appreciate it that way. They'll tell you, my wife makes the decision, and they're just like what Steve Harvey said about Meghan and Prince Harry, that he appreciates, he loves it that way. The wife takes makes the major decision of the house. She's very smart. She's this, she's that, and then he likes to eat that way. Anyway, that's their own. But in Africa, you see a man, he will tell himself, I am the head of the house, but the wife pays the bills. The wife washes his clothes. The wife cooks for him. On top of that, the man will tell you he doesn't want leftover food. He wants freshly made food,
for every meal.
Every meal. Morning, he wants it
pounded
fresh.
Yam.
Pounded yam, he wants it fresh at that moment, even if it's middle of the night. And the woman will still do it. On top of that, the man will still have the guts to beat her for any little mistake she makes, claiming that I am the head of house. You are talking to the head of house. You are the head of house, yet you don't know your responsibility.
No, I think that it's a great shift in roles and responsibilities. We know that the society is dynamic, society is changing, but this is one of the anomalies that we should not accept in marital setting, where the role shift changed so much that the woman will be doing both feminine and masculine roles. She's doing the masculine role, and there is no how a man can want that kind of wife to give him ultimate respect. If he's still demanding, like in the scenario you put, if he's still demanding that she respects him, if he's still putting so much pressure on her, we see it happen, and in the toxic and abusive relationships, if he's still doing all that, then it means that he's a bully, that he's just traumatizing her, and that relationship is actually toxic. It has turned to abuse, because she cannot be paying rent, paying school fees, doing the breadwinner role, doing the masculine role of a man, and you still expect her to be able to do her female role. There are some women too, they feel okay, they pay the bills in the house, they do this, they assist. Some of them get to a point, even if it's the husband that had been doing all the things, that maybe all of a sudden he lost his job, something happened to his job, and he's no longer working, and they just mistakenly start taking up responsibility, even just for some few months. They become lord of the house. Disrespectful. They become disrespectful. They start feeling like the man of the house, like the head of the house. Like the religion said, we should be supportive to our partners. Now, forgetting all those years that he had been there for you, they'll start counting it. I did this for you, I did this for you, you expect me to still do this for you? No, it's not so. And some of them too, just like it is in the men's side too, they have that in them too. They want to disrespect the man, they even go to the extent of even beating the man. They turn the man to their punching bag in the house because he's gentle, and because he no longer does what he's supposed to do as the man of the house, which is very, very wrong. Yes. In fact, I was reading a write-up one time, and the marriage counselor was saying that if you choose to marry a career woman, for instance, you don't expect that what a housewife will be able to do in terms of preparing fresh meals every day, going to the market every day, doing this and doing that, that she'll be able to do that, because you go to work, she goes to work. Yes. You pay bills, she also pays bills. The stress, the kind of stress you face at work that makes men come home and just pull up their shoes and be watching TV while the woman is in the kitchen, she is also going through that stress. Probably you are even coming home the same time. Yes. So you should at least allow room for some. If you have allowed that dynamics, you should allow also room for some understanding that my wife cannot be all that the typical housewife would be. And also for he was saying it both ways anyway, that if you choose to marry so and so type of person, you should be able to accept some things in your marriage. So I think for me, it is whatever works for a marriage, fine. There are some men that are very comfortable with their wives taking care of things because they feel like, okay, if I'm not there, or if I die, or if I travel, she'll be able to take decisions, while there are some that prefer their wife should not do anything. I remember once teaching in a school, and there was a particular set of children that would always come late. In resumption time, they would never come early, and it was said that their father used to travel abroad, and until he's around, nobody can bring them to school. And we kept on asking, but where is the mother? I should bring them to, and they said no, it's a standing rule. The father doesn't allow the wife to go out to do anything. So even for something like bringing the children back to boarding house after resumption, she cannot do it. She cannot come for their PTA meeting. She cannot. That's what works in their own family. Yes. But some men prefer women that are capable, women that can do things. Because I had to ask on a group one time that what do men exactly want? Somebody was giving the analogy of a man, if you are doing all that, making making all the effort, trying to see that the house is balanced. Even when he's around, you are the one owning the gen. Even when he's around, you are the one repairing the washing machine when it spoils. You are the one doing it. You are the one doing that, because you are trying to show that yes, you are capable. But you may do all that, and he will end up marrying somebody who doesn't do any of that, and then he will appreciate her more. Exactly. And so I asked on that group, what exactly do men want? Because this is what some men consider to be capable. I want a wife that is capable. But he goes on to marry somebody who doesn't do anything, even to fix a light bulb. She will tell you that she cannot do it. She doesn't know where the mechanic. She has no idea how to do anything. It's only the man that does everything, and then he appreciates her. So I think it's different strokes for different folks.
There's different folks.
And then your family dynamics determine how.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you on that part where you say whatever works for you in the marriage, do it, and then respect that fact. But then don't use that and take advantage of that fact, and then you expect the other side too, because like the popular saying, so you can't eat your cake and have it. You can't make it mandatory, or maybe sit down and watch your wife do everything in the house, and then you still expect her to do those things that that she's supposed to if it were the other way around. You can't eat your cake and have it. I was watching this skit one day. The couple, they came back from somewhere, and the lady opened the door and said, "Ladies first." And the man now stood, was now watching her. "Babe, what are you saying?" He said, "Ladies first." Which obviously she's the lady, she's the one that's supposed to go in first. And he was like, but babe, that's so. This cloth that you're wearing, who bought it for you?
Can you imagine?
He said, you. This food you're holding, who bought it for you? This, that. He just mentioned the girl's name. And I said, so. He now gave him a name. He said, I would say Amaka also.
So you are the lady.
You are the lady now.
Role change.
As much as it's just kid, but it's what happens in some women's head, which is very, very.
Which is why we should be careful about this changing of roles. I think that women should stay in their roles as women so that they can be feminine.
Yes.
Because a woman that is dressed up cannot be sexy, cannot be intimate the way men want her to be. And a woman and a man too that has become so soft, he has given all his authority to the wife to take all the decisions and do everything in the home. He cannot expect for her to have that kind of respect. So just as we are cautioning men about not giving up, not allowing the woman to do so much, the women too should not take advantage of it. Because there are some women actually that are lucky enough to have men that overlook a lot of things and just allow things be so, and then they take advantage, just like you were saying, highlighting that, oh, I'm the one that does this, I'm the one that does that, and trying to lord it over the man. Everybody have their role, and God designed it that way. If we try to switch roles or to change things, that's when society starts to scatter. That's why we see all the problems that we're having in society. That's why marriages are even breaking up, because we have not followed the way God wants us to run our homes. So I think that for both men and women, we really need to study what our roles are in our marriage, and as much as possible, try to keep to it, try to do it. Circumstances may come. For instance, when a man is sick, when a man has lost his job, and then the woman has to step into the role to become the breadwinner. But ordinarily, when things are going fine, the man should not leave his duties to the wife. So also the woman, that your husband knows how to cook and he's cooking and he's somebody that loves to carry babies, and does not mean that you should now, even when you're in public, you give him the baby and the pampers and say, hold it, or you start disrespecting it because he's somebody that likes to wash your. Somebody said about how her husband used to wash her underwear and things like that until the mother-in-law came to visit. I said, but you should not even have allowed him to be washing it when his mother is around, because they will misinterpret it and all that.
And so, I'm sure she did that because she felt he has nothing doing. Maybe probably he had no job doing. At that
he's
time,
around at home.
He's always at home, and so he should do it.
So I think we really need to respect each other and realize that, just like one of Steve Harvey doing in marriage in that video clip, what everybody is doing is very important. Nobody's role is irrelevant. Nobody's role is unimportant. What everybody is doing, both the man and the woman, are the bricks that are holding up the partnership, that are holding up the marriage. So we should respect our spouses, respect the roles that the other person is playing. As much as we are doing, know that what the other person too is doing is very important. If you are a breadwinner, if you are the man that goes to bring the cash into the house, don't look at it that your wife is not doing anything. Because some men think about it like that after all, what is she doing? And I remember one that they said somebody begged an angel or begged God to turn him into a woman, that his wife is not doing anything, so he wants to relax like that. And then the next morning he found himself to become a woman. The woman, as the man, has now gone out, and then he had to cook. He cooked breakfast, he prepared everybody, he did this, he did that, and immediately, before he know it, it's already time for lunch again. Before you know it, the baby is crying. Before you know it, he has to do the laundry. Before you know it, he has to do school, and he was so exhausted that day that he wanted to die. That was when he now realized that, what the woman is doing in the house is actually 10 times more than what I do out there, despite all the stress I go through. So we should appreciate each other. That's the bottom line. It
reminds me of this. We was asking the wife, what do you bring to the table? The wife went inside, pick up their 3-month-old baby, put the baby on a tray. I came and presented you.
This is what I bring to the table.
This is what I bring to the table.
A whole human being.
Of course. It's not easy. They think it's easy. So anyway, that's just it about this. So I hope this video makes sense to somebody out there. I hope this video makes sense to some couples out there. And before I go, I want to leave you with this question. And please drop the answer to it at the comment section of this video. Last, realistically, who do you think should wear the pant in a marriage? So as you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos like this.